Hey everybody, this is Zigsta, and welcome to episode 2 of the Brawl Back Room Interviews. We are here today with a guy who is scary good with Zelda and Shiek. Ed's here. Ed, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, quick question, man. Speaking of scary, what's with your name being ScaryLB59, and why do people call you Ed instead?
Oh man. All right, so the username, I actually made this username when I still had all my aspirations for football, 'cause before I really got big into video games, I was a really big football player. And ironically, my position was linebacker, which was abbreviated LB. So and I wore number 59. So on the field, on the football field, I'm pretty much a completely entirely different person. I'll trash talk someone to death. And not exactly the nicest guy in the field. I usually like to take a guy's head off. So hence I was like, let's just mash this all together and voila, I got a username.
Wow, I was not expecting that reply at all. So, why is it then that a linebacker is drawn to playing Zelda out of all the characters in the game?
Honestly, I honestly have no idea. I dabbled, like I wasn't really big in the competitive scene when Melee was still going, but when I was playing Melee a lot, I would either play like Mario or Zelda and Sheik, and I was like, yo, Zelda's kind of cool. I can shoot sparkles from my hands at any time. This is kind of funny. So it just kind of it just kind of stuck to me. And then when I tried her in Brawl, of course, like at the beginning of the game, I was like, fireballs are overpowered, so spam fireballs, win matches, and it just kind of stuck with me.
Interesting. So, what would you say drives you to play Brawl? Because, I mean, coming from someone who also mains a really, really bad character, it takes a lot to kind of motivate you. So, what in particular pushes you to play Brawl in general?
What pushes me to play Brawl? Honestly, it's more like a competitive drive. It's kind of like the same drive that I would use when I was still playing football. It's just like I want to strive to be better than others, but then again, at the same time, I also enjoy a challenge. And conveniently, that my character is so bad, so to speak, it is a really big hill to climb, and there's my challenge right there. So I'm motivated by trying to like push Zelda and Sheik to the limits, even though like it's really hard, and some days I don't enjoy them as much as others. But all in all, it's all rewarding to me in the end.
It's awesome, man. So, how exactly do you push your characters to the limit? You have any specific training regimens or guys you play with?
No real training regimens. I wish I honestly could probably afford to like train a lot more, but what I do is every week I throw a weekly Smash Fest every Thursday here in Tampa, and a lot of players come out and we just play until the night ends. Players Red Halberd, Mampam, and then a whole bunch of up and coming players that are here in Tampa that I keep on getting better and better, push me to my limits, and I push them.
Sounds epic, man. What would
Plus,
you say? I'm
I was,
sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say, plus there's Mario Party, and everyone enjoys a good game of Mario Party.
Oh, it's so good, especially late night Mario Party.
All the salt begins right there.
The best, dude. So speaking of epic wins, what would you say is your biggest achievement in Brawl thus far?
Oh wow. My biggest achievement in Brawl thus far, as far as probably a win goes, 2 years ago there was a tournament here in Florida, Orlando. It was CEO 2010, and Chuda and Candy came from out of state. I think they were down. I think it was during MLG DC. I think was happening at this time, or one of those MLGs. And so they didn't go, and they came out of state. And I had to play Candy in winners bracket, and at that time he was number one ranked in Virginia,
Hmm.
and I beat his snake game one with Sheik pretty convincingly. I was pretty shocked at myself at that time. And then game two, he counterpicks Meta Knight, and I took it out with Zelda, and I sent him to losers, and that was huge for me at that time.
That's pretty freaking epic, dude. So you consider yourself a Zelda slash Sheik main, right?
Yeah,
A lot of people ask, how do you know when to switch from one character to another? Are there particular matchups where you feel like, okay, if I'm in X situation, this calls for this particular character? Or is it more of a kind of in the moment, you're just not feeling one character and you swap to another one?
honestly, it is probably the later of the two. It's really more of like a how am I doing with this character at the time kind of thing. Because some days I could be on fire with one of the characters, and I'll just ride with that character until it doesn't work anymore, or if I run into a really really bad matchup. So it's for that it's pretty much based on feel, and then matchup is second. Like because I know the matchups with both characters, but just gotta trust the gut and trust the gut instincts in that one.
Hmm. Who do you feel has the most promise to take Zelda and Sheik to the next level at the moment?
At the moment, well, are we including Europe and Japan?
Yeah, anybody in the world, man.
Because Japan, as far as Sheik is concerned, Japan is insane. I enjoy watching her Sheiks, but like they confuse me so much because honestly, those are really the Sheik player base isn't too big, so like there's myself, there's Judo, there's Tutu, but there aren't that many vids online. And then there's the Japan Sheiks, Cross and Daiki, and I study their vids a lot, and I try and implement them into my gameplay. And sometimes I just get so confused. I'm like, how do those reads work? They're so amazing. And then when I try them, they blow up in my face. I'm like, what happened? So I mean, at the moment, I would probably say the Japanese Sheiks, especially Cross, probably would take the Sheik metagame to the next level. And as far as in the US, we kind of got to step it up. I would probably say between the three of us, myself, Judo, and Tutu, and Billy, if he decides to actually play Sheik consistently, like whenever because sometimes he'll just switch characters randomly. But
Right.
between the three or four of us, and D Cold's actually a really aspiring Sheik. I've actually watched his recent vids, and he uses the chain really well. I kind of want to learn how to use that from him. I'm going to steal those tricks. But
Nice.
I think between like the 4 or 5 of us that do play consistently, like we're gonna pull Sheik out of mid tier eventually.
Speaking of tiers, so you already said you'd like to see Sheik move out of mid tier. Do you see Zelda moving up very much in the tier list?
Oh my gosh, this one's a funny one because I really, really personally don't think that Zelda is as bad as everyone makes her out to be. But I personally think she can do it. I I laugh at most of the others that really kind of want to see her drop below Ganon. Um, Fujin personally, like it's hilarious to watch him post about Zelda because he makes Zelda out to be so bad. But
Right.
she really, she honestly has a whole lot of good tools. It's just a matter of figuring out a playstyle that works for you. Because if you're just gonna sit back and be defensive all day, you can't do that with Zelda. You actually have to kind of be aggressive with Zelda. It's kind of funny how it works, but it works.
So I'd like to go back a little bit here. Um, what exactly draws you to the Japanese sheiks? And are there any particular advanced techniques or reads they do that you think is particularly noteworthy?
Strangely enough, like there aren't really that many advanced techniques that they use. It's more or less just like how solid their gameplay is. Like I noticed there was one recent match. There was Earth versus Yui's Fox. Yui's Fox, everyone knows Yui's Fox is a monster. But Earth took him to last hit, last stock in most of the games, and he really didn't even utilize the tilt lock.
Hmm.
The tilt lock, as you all know, it can just take Fox and it can murder him. That's the whole reason the matchup's that bad. And there was another video. probably after that when Daiki just three-stocked Yui, and it looked like it was easy, no problem in a crew battle. But when Earth played Yui, um, his fundamental gameplay was so sound, and that's what intrigues me most about their gameplay. Like there's nothing flashy going on, and they just get the job done. They know what they're doing at all times.
So you have a very interesting teammate in Florida. For those you don't know, Trump the Fox main. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about how did you guys, in your right mind, first even think about making a Zelda and Fox team? How's it work? Give us some history. Give us the whole 411.
Oh gosh. All right. All right. So this one's kind of fun. We met long time ago, maybe around like the end of 2009. We never thought I was currently teaming with a Luigi player named Polmex, and we went to a tournament in February 2010, and we had to play Trump, and he was teaming with Mav, the guy from Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I felt like Trump kind of carried Mav, and we ended up playing later in the bracket. We lost to them, and then around that time is when Trump starts showing up a little more around Tampa, and then Polmex randomly disappears when on one of his cases where he vanishes.
Huh.
And then MLG Orlando rolls around, and neither of us had a teammate, so we just tried to make it work for fun. And at that time, when we went to MLG Orlando, we tried working with our secondary characters. Behind Zelda and Sheik, I like to play Wario for fun. And behind his Fox at that time, he would like to play Falco. So we took that team to MLG, and not gonna lie, we got smashed pretty good. I think like the first round, we got like almost five stocked really bad by San and Dr. Grandpa. It was hilarious what some of the things that were happening to us, and neither of us liked it. And like I think our team was kind of born from that. Like we were just kind of like two really salty dudes at that moment, and from that point on, we just started teaming, and eventually we leaned far away from Wario Falco because we were like, we're not gonna if we don't play these characters, then why even try and do it? Let's just try our mains out and see what happens.
Hmm.
And from it originally was Fox Sheik, and Fox we just like to play really fast, and it would overwhelm some teams, and then we'd run into like say Red Halberd and his brother Mampam, and we would kind of get overwhelmed by like high tier characters. So then we are like, all right, let's try and come up with a gimmick, and that's where Fox Zelda was born. And with me sitting back and throwing fireballs, and then him jumping into the fireballs with reckless abandon, it kind of works. It's hilarious how it works because there's so much pressure going on all at once that it really messes with most teams, and it's kind of stuck to this day.
That's cool. So you guys have been teaming for a little over a year now, or is it 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years now. We've been teaming since MLG Orlando, which was in April 2010. So yeah, it's
That's
been
crazy,
it's
man.
been about 2 years and 3 months, and it's just been one static partner.
Does Florida mainly use static partners, or do people shift a lot? Because in Texas, about 2 years ago, it seemed like people used a lot of new partners every tournament. It seems like now they're starting to go more static.
More or less, like there's a few people like they try to be static partners, but if you can have a static partner, that's awesome. But it's a mixture of both, honestly. Like with static partners, there's like myself and Trump. Whenever HR Nut actually enters a tournament, it's HR Nut and either Red Halberd or GDX because they would team mainly. Of course, you've got Fourth Impact, Shiek and Nick Riddle. And then before ESAM moved to South Carolina for college, he was teaming with MVD. I mean, there's a handful of like static teams, and then there's a handful of people that just pick up partners and they play, and they usually do well, which is Florida's interesting like that. It's just hilarious how it works sometimes.
For smashers out there who either have static partners or are looking to get a static partner, what do you recommend to improve your chemistry with your static partner?
Practice like a lot of just honest brainstorming sessions because there would be times where like this is probably during the transition period for me and Trump. We were going from a Fox Sheik to Fox Zelda, and it was just a lot of thought process. Not real much like actual implementing it into the gameplay, but a lot of like theory crafting and like things that we could do at that time. And then the times where we would be able to meet, trying to put it together with maybe like computers and like little bits of practice. And then of course when I would host a Smash Fest, that's when we try and put it all together and see how it works. So a lot of it just came from talking about it with each other, talking about it with your partner, and seeing if you can make it work. And then if it works, stick with it. And if it doesn't, then back to talking. It's kind of like just a complete circle, trial and
That's
error.
cool, man. So let's talk about Smash 4. It's obviously a huge topic in the Smash community.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
How do you think Zelda and Sheik should be changed, if at all, in Smash 4?
For one, hopefully Sheik's still in the game. I don't know. People have been spreading nasty rumors that isn't going to be in the game, and I'll be very sad if
Really?
that
Where
happens.
did that come from?
I don't know. Like people that were just like a few friends of mine in Tampa, they're just joke. I don't know if they're joking or they're just like messing with my head. They're like, "Yo, Sheik won't be in Smash 4," and I'm just like, "No, that can't happen. That cannot happen. I'd be crushed." If
Sounds
they're
like you get
still
trolled hard, man.
if they're still paired together as they are in Brawl, if they're still like that in Smash 4, I would like maybe well, for one, I think Zelda would she could probably use a nice little like boost in speed. She's kind of slow running around the stage. She could probably use a mobility boost. I mean, considering she kind of transforms into Sheik and she flies around like a crazy person, then Zelda could probably afford to move a little faster. And because I mean that'd be pretty awesome being able to run around and put those crazy hitboxes out there.
Hmm.
And then as far as Sheik is concerned, probably some more aerial mobility. That's really all I would ask for it. I think she's pretty awesome as she is, but her biggest issue is just like landing, and I think yeah, her biggest issue is getting juggled and landing and such because she doesn't have hardly any aerial mobility in my opinion. And I find that to be my biggest problem in my gameplay. I mean, that's probably just a wish list of mine, but if that could be changed, because she's a ninja, she should be able to do anything. So probably mobility would be my only request for Sheik and Zelda.
And are there any particular development teams you're really, really excited for to work with Nintendo on Smash 4?
I really do want to see what Namco does. Like I think it's the people that help make Tekken, I think aren't they on the development team?
Yeah.
I really want to see what they do because personally I enjoy the Tekken games and for one, I'm hoping and praying that they don't go in any sort of like actual fighting game direction, like leave Smash alone. Do not want anything silly like a meter or things like that, because that would just crush me right there.
Hmm.
Um, but of course, Tekken never really had some sort of meter thing, so that's gonna be really, really interesting to see how they do this. I know they probably still got Sakurai watching over everything, take out tripping, but
Please.
oh God, I can't tell you. That's a whole other subject in its own. But I really want to see what the Tekken group does with everything.
So moving a little bit away from Smash, you told us that you used to be a linebacker in football, used to want to be a professional football player. What are
Hmm.
your new career life ambitions?
Oh boy. Right now I'm trying to finish college with a degree in health sciences. Um, I had to switch my major once. Originally, I was a chemistry major, and I was probably 1 year away from graduation, and I had a bad semester. Unlucky me. So I had to change. I had to change semesters, honest or change majors. Sorry. And honestly, I'm just kind of like going with it right now because I know with the health science field, there's a lot of opportunity out there. But at the moment, I realize a lot of that opportunity is going to probably involve extra schooling once I'm all done with my bachelor's. So
Mhm.
I will probably want to take a break for a little bit just because I'm kind of burnt out of school for being in college for so long. It's gotten old a little bit, but once I get back into it, I probably want to look to be like a like maybe a personal trainer, physical therapy of the sorts. Just because like I have a lot of already like hands-on experience with it, just because it's already kind of been done to me. I would like to reciprocate it a little bit, so to speak.
Cool. Ed, is there anything in particular you feel that your football experience helped your smash mentality?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing that I know it's helped is don't quit. Literally, there's been probably many an occasion where I've just been so upset with Smash sometimes, and I just kind of like draw back on that, and just be like, how ridiculous would that be if you quit? Like all that time that you put in would be worthless if you quit right here. So just persistence is pretty much what it's taught me. Persistence and like the will to win kind of thing.
That's definitely a winner's mentality, man. So one of the feedback that we got from episode 1 is that the people, you guys and gals, wanted more random questions. So this time around, we've got what we're calling the bonus round, where we
Oh,
have totally
right.
random questions for you, Ed.
All right, bring them on.
First up, when does a boy become a man?
When does a boy become a man? Wow. I would, let's see. Not, I wouldn't get too graphic. I think a boy becomes a man when probably after they start getting into like more serious arguments with their parents, I would probably say. That's when you start making decisions on your own. So probably around that time, although people would probably disagree. Um, because I don't know. I never really got into too many arguments, so I'd be like, I'd say a boy becomes a man when they can start like fending for themselves quite a bit.
The linebacker has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. So this next question might spark some debate depending on your answer in the Florida community, but I'll ask it anyway. Tampa or Miami?
Oh God. Oh God. See, what sucks about that question is I've actually been in both scenes recently. Are we talking about like Smash or are we just talking about like place to go to? Oh boy.
Pick your interpretation of it, man.
Wow. All right. I'm
Unleash the beast.
probably just gonna give this two answers. I'm not even gonna lie. Place to go. Place to go. I would probably say Miami, at least for now, just because as long as I've lived here in Tampa, I really haven't like ventured out too much with it just because out of the 5 years I've really just been kind of like keeping my eyes with college and such. But growing up growing up in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, it was just like you could do anything there and just go crazy and have a good time most of the time. As far as Smash is concerned, I would probably say Tampa just because we're probably more tightly like we're a more tightly knit group in my opinion. Like South Florida, even though they probably have more talented players like a Sabrick and an MVD and Nick Riddle, they may not play as much together, it seems. Whereas like Tampa, we're a lot more organized. Of course, I already mentioned I throw the weekly fest and everything. So we're usually like more unified group more or less, whereas we're not like in like little covert areas like you have your few people practicing here and there, whereas I'm throwing big group things. I don't know.
On a lighter note, personal question. What is your favorite poltergeist story?
What?
I'm sure you've got some crazy poltergeist stories being from Florida.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Poltergust and I used to team. It was kind of funny. It's kind of
Really?
like there was all right, one time the first time we ever teamed, um it was one of my I think it was like my second tourney that I actually traveled out of Tampa to go to, and I drove all the way to like Cape Coral. And I didn't know this. I didn't even know who I was teaming with. I was just like, all right, let's just do this, see what happens. And I find this guy. I wasn't expecting much. He's like as big as I am, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of funny. I don't even. All right, well, let's see what happens. And didn't do too hot. Like we were doing amazing in friendlies. We were running this goofy team. We were either running like Sheik Yoshi or Zelda Yoshi, and it was just weird, dumb. And we were beating the likes of like Lamb Chops, who was still playing Brawl at the time. We were beating like Lamb Chops and Afro, or Lamb Chops and Sabric, and they were just kind of like dumbfounded at the time. Oh, another story. It was this long car ride from I drove to CEO 2011, and I think Poltergust was in my car, and he listens to just strictly like anime music. Like
Oh God, yes.
he's got it on CD, and like everyone else in
So
the car was like,
bad.
"Oh my God, make it stop, please!" And he's like, "No, no, no, it's my CD. We need to play this now. Come on." So I'm like,
Oh,
"All
you
right,
guys let him?
huh?"
Did you let him?
You know what? Being a nice guy, I let him finish playing the CD. Once the CD was done, the CD never made it back into the CD player again.
Destroy that thing, man. Throw it out the window.
I think I almost threw it at the semi. I was like, I think I just like put the window down and pump faked throwing the CD out the window. And in that pump fake, I kind of like dropped the CD behind my back to make it like believable. And oh my goodness, like it was a interesting car ride from that point on. Then I surprised him with the CD later. He's like, wow. Because I think he honestly believed I chucked that CD, but hey.
Oh, that's awesome. I would have loved to see that. So for those of you who don't know, Poltergeist is obviously a major character, to say the least. Everybody has their story.
That guy.
Moving
Oh,
along
anytime
to a.
I was
Oh,
gonna
go
say,
ahead.
I was gonna say, anytime we teamed though, it was a whole lot of fun because fireballs and eggs is stupid.
Oh, that sounds so annoying, man. So much projectile spam.
There's actually a video of it online. We played Nick Riddle and Shaky, and we took them to game three, and yeah, it's just dumb. It's really dumb.
That's hilarious. Shout outs to Poltergeist, even though you don't play Marvel. I mean, even you don't play Brawl anymore. You switch to Marvel. You still totally play Brawl again, you little baby.
It's a
And you
crying
cheat in
shame.
Mario Kart too.
All that talent wasted. You come back.
Maybe he'll be at Wobo. Maybe not.
Wobo, do it.
Moving on to a slightly different question. Question 4: Are you a ninja?
Oh man. Um, for a guy my size, I like to believe I'm a ninja because I can actually move around really stealthily, and that's kind of bad considering like I'm all right. A guy I'm about 6'1", maybe 230 pounds, give or take, and I can move around and you never know. It's kind of bad. So I like to believe I'm a ninja sometimes.
So you're like Poe the Panda.
There you go. That works.
Awesome. So Jimmy Faux Show listed a ton of really cool, totally random off the wall questions.
Oh
Like,
dear.
what's your favorite food?
Sushi, because sushi is the greatest thing ever.
Second question is, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh no. Um.
Other than Poltergust's terrible anime singing.
Yo, okay. Aside from that, um, showers. I think like sometimes I'll go to a tournament and be like, "Come on, you guys!" Like it's kind of bad. Sometimes I'll just walk around with like the Febreze bottle, be like, "Come
Oh
on,
man, the booty stank.
the booty stank. Can't have that."
What is your favorite day of the week?
Uh, it'd be really easy to answer with Friday, but yeah, no, we're gonna go with Friday. Friday's a
Because
good.
of the song, right?
No.
So this is a pretty big loaded question, courtesy of Jimmy Faux Show. Shout outs to Jimbo. What is your biggest regret?
Oh man, biggest regret. Um, let's see. My biggest regret right now probably is that it goes with a little bit of a story. When I first arrived at USF, this is when I was still aspiring to play football. I went and tried out for the football team walkouts, and I got to the walkouts and I made everyone look really, really bad, in my opinion. And as far as like footwork and just skill of the position goes, and the coaches told me that I was too small to be on the team.
Hmm.
So I kind of was there a little bit dumbfounded. I was like, I can't believe this. Not even going to get a shot at this. So I come back the next year, make everyone look worse, and got the same exact answer.
Hmm.
So, all right. At that point, I just kind of like set football aside for a little bit. And one day, while I was still working at a Firehouse Subs, one of the players came in and we just got into a conversation. And the new coach had just gotten at USF. And his walk on policy was that all walk ons make the team and then they get to like at least try to do something with it. And I heard this and I was livid. I almost like flipped the entire like sub area over. It was really
Wow.
bad. And so I guess my biggest regret at the moment was just kind of like not continuing to like actively pursue football. It's still on the back of my mind, but at the same time, I've kind of run out of eligibility here at the college. I've been here for quite a bit.
Mhm.
So if I really still want to do it, it'd probably be like some crazy backdoor route, like maybe arena football and then something. But I guess that would probably be my biggest regret was that.
So, two more cool questions from our boy Jimbo.
All right.
Five living people you'd like to meet, and five dead people you'd like to meet. Dead people who, of course, would come back to life just to meet you.
Epic. Oh boy.
Cool
Five
question.
five living people I would like to meet. Wow. That's hard. Let's see. I would like to meet first off, I would probably like to meet Dwight Freeney because when I was still playing football, like he was a defensive end linebacker, and that is basically what I did. And I kind of like modeled what is kind of like Smash. I kind of like watched what he would do and model myself after it, spin move and all. So I would like to meet him. Um, wow, that's a lot of people. That's hard.
You can do three if you'd like. Make it not as difficult.
Man, let's see. I would probably want to meet. Oh, I probably want to meet Serge Tankian, the lead singer of System of a Down. That's favorite band, amazing music, and also, you know what? Another band I'd like to meet the lead singer of Static X because that dude's voice is ridiculous, and I would like to see if he talked like that in a calm manner. Because I mean, if you've ever listened to a Static X song, that guy's voice is one pitch, maybe two pitches, and it just seems insane that he can maintain that voice that whole time. Uh, dead people. Wow. Three dead people would probably want to meet. Let's see. Probably want to meet Einstein because, of course, like who wouldn't? I just like pick at his brain for a little bit, which would be kind of convenient. I mean, he's dead and all, so I could just kind of like pick at his brain for real.
Literally.
Um, wow. Probably, probably Steve McNair, former Titans quarterback, because that guy just really had like a never quit attitude. Like you could probably bludgeon him with a sledgehammer and he'd still go out and play football. So
Wow.
that'd be kind of cool to like meet and greet with him. And um, hmm,
Wow, I never knew this question was coming. I saw it in the thread and it just was like, hello. Never anticipated this. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson would probably be pretty interesting to meet just because it's Michael Jackson.
Right. Is there anything else you'd like to throw out there that we haven't brought up yet, or any shout outs you'd like to give to the friends back home?
Um, let's see. Not really much else to throw out. It's been a pretty fun interview. Shout outs to everyone that voted for me. Which wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Shout outs to Tampa and shout outs to everyone else in Florida. Oh, and shout outs to D Cold because he asked me to give him a shout out. So shout outs to you, dude.
And Ed, what will the next tournament you'll be at?
Well, with any luck, Wobo 4. Got to do some work there.
Awesome. Well, I am crossing my fingers on that, man.
Definitely, definitely.
And thanks so much for coming out for this interview today. I felt like learned a lot, and looking forward to everybody else getting to listen to it.
All right, no problems. It was an absolute pleasure.
And next time, folks, we will have another 5 batch of Brawl Back Room members. Next up will be Seagull Man, Ilmatic, DeBuzz, Christedes, or Nick Riddle. You can vote on starting tomorrow. We're also proud to announce a really cool announcement. Starting tomorrow, you can vote not only just on Smashboards, but also on our new Facebook and Twitter pages. The links to both our Facebook and Twitter pages can be found in the video description right below this video. Till next time, this has been Zigsta. Thank you so much for listening, and looking forward to your votes for next time.